off so quickly, things they don't want to see. The Lulu. Evertan played this in both of the games in the quarterfinals, and so did Bambi of the Forest. So it has two uses. He's picking it for himself because he's great at that champion, but he's also denying Bambi of the Forest that pick.
And that's a good denial right here, and now, of course, it's the time for QG to make their own choices. And Pawn Gypsy, he doesn't get Shyvana, but plays another nice late-game scaling split potion. That's going to be Dr. Mundo. The Pantheon grabbed up here, saying, yeah, that's going to be our high-priority jungle pick. Take that one away.
Yeah, and Pawn Gypsy, he's okay with sitting back and letting the game unfold and then joining the fights later. That's his playstyle. He loves those passive top laners. He's okay with that. Kenny, the meta isn't in his favor right now. He loves those really aggressive characters. The Kazakhs, once again, banned against him. And we're going to have to see what he picks up here in this game.
But you've got all these other assassins, though, like Yasuo, Zed, like all these guys that, like,
Yasuo?
If you like Kazakhs, you can play one of the other ones, right? Like, it's not like it's outside of possibility. We've seen teams like Curse and Coast run these to great effect. And so I want to see him come in and, bring something else. And hey,
that is
Yasuo does get grabbed up.
That's a top lane because Lulu is going to transition into the mid lane.
Topsuo.
And now they actually have synergy within each other because the Wild Growth with the knockup into Last Breath is a devastating combo, and the fact that Thresh can also set up Last Breath too.
Exactly. So we've got every single person so far has synergy with the ulti. We'll see what kind of happens with Kenny on this one. Of course, Pantheon already grabbed up. The Mundo we talked on before as well, and I actually like Yasuo into Mundo. I think Mundo gives you a bunch of free time to go fight and kind of outscale him. And now comes the interesting thing. Bearfish now going to be on Tristana with an Orianna to kind of support the team.
So Tristana, that late game that we thought he was going to pick in the first game, because that's typically his style, is get in my backpack, I'm going to carry you guys all the way to the finish line.
Yeah.
And now he's going to do that on Tristana, put him in his, I guess, rocket pack.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a backpack already. He's like predisposed to carrying a team, Tristana. It's good. It's already in the model.
Yeah.
He's got to shrink him down. Lulu's on the other side, but it'll still work out, I trust. Now the hover overs from the blue caster minions, they need part of a bottom lane, and they need a jungler here. Hovering on Jinx, and I want to see, they held up in lane specifically last time. It was the ganks that tipped the favor. So can they find an aggressive enough lane to bully out the weak laning Tristana?
Yeah, the weak laning Tristana, we're going to have to see what they do. Lane bullies are on the table. The Lucian.
Everything's on the table.
Could go for Draven. But if he... So he's hovering over the Lucian right now. I actually want to talk about Bambi the Force lock-in on Orianna.
Okay.
Ball delivery system here with Pantheon. You can put that into the back line, just slap it on him, and then just use your Shockwave. So there's some great engagement potential here from all of Queen Gypsies. And Bambi the Force is actually known for his Orianna play, and it's what he used to hit Challenger previously. And he was on a Challenger 5's team at one point.
Yeah.
So he's not familiar to high level, not unfamiliar to high level play.
Right. I mean, they're all here in the first place. They've got to be pretty confident in this one. The last few picks come in for the blue caster minions. The jungler is going to be Elise coming through, and the Lucian. It's going to be Lucian, Thresh, and aggressive lane here to try to stomp down on Tristana.
So a last pick Elise is something you almost never see.
Yeah.
She's such a high priority jungler, but they know that your Soulmate's champion pool does not include Elise. So they were okay with leaving that open. He's going to pick something else. Then they go ahead and prioritize other things like Yasuo and the Lulu, which they were putting in top tier.
Yeah, and I feel like, now that Leona's in here to kind of complement the team, though, I like what blue caster minions have done in Champ Select, because they've got a lane that even if you don't dominate the lane in the top lane, you're still Yasuo and you outscale, and there's such gank pressure by having Yasuo plus Elise together just to chop down a Mundo. Like, I feel like that's actually opened up now for BCM.
Yeah, they have a lot of engagement potential here for Queen Gypsies, but on the flip side, a lot of wombo combo here for BCM. Lulu, Yasuo, great with the Thresh. Then they have Lucian for the early game bullying to try and shut down Flappy Bearfish, which might be their goal. And I want to see if an invade comes out this time.
Yeah.
And who it comes out from. Because Queen Gypsies, I mean, they're up one game in a best of 3.
True.
It's one of those situations where, like, do we play it safe, or do we just go all in and try it again?
It feels like, to me, if I'm them, I'm like, well, I would feel like I outskilled them the entire time anyway, and it's like if you play a completely standard game with just like a laning phase, that the same thing would happen. That would be my mindset. Okay. Now, I don't know if that's true, and of course the champions have changed, but if you're like, chips are down, like what do I do to win? It's like, same thing as last time.
Yeah.
Just lane against them and get kills because you're better.
Yeah, and the early kills that they got didn't really transition into too much gold.
Yeah.
Because they were so early.
Yeah.
But they did get all 5 flashes.
It's true. It's set up further ganks.
Yeah. So
well, see how that one pans out, of course. Yeah, exactly. He got a lot happening there on the Vi, as we talked about, right? 7-0 and 12. Incredible performance here. He's going to be on Pantheon this time around. So another great early game jungler, can jump in and knock you around. I want to see how the engages come in from these guys, but also my eyes really, for this game, I have to look at iKennyU. I have to see the top laner, who is the MVP for BCM on their road here, and if he can step up and actually do something in this game.
Yeah, now he's on a playmaker. He's on Yasuo, who is relevant at all stages of the game. Even if he's behind and he's had a really bad laning phase, he has such a great engagement tool, and he scales so well with so little items. You really need like 2 or 3, and then he's
you need like
fantastic.
8K worth of gold, but at that you really kind of explode there. A lot of pings coming in. Queen Gypsy is happy to make some music. You know, there's only really a few tones of pings. I feel like you can't even put like a scale.
Yeah. So they're actually playing to the strengths of this composition here and just doing a passive fan-out line of scrimmage. And BCM, they have a very aggressive comp here. You know, you have Lucian Thresh, you can catch somebody out. You can cocoon somebody level 1 with Kevin if you wanted to. Then the fact that you have Yasuo and all these fantastic high-damage early characters.
Yeah.
That I don't know if they'll do it, but they have the possibility to.
But we'll see where they go, because Bearfish is waiting around on the side. BCM has the engage. Kevin actually waiting far in the wings, interestingly enough. And the Trozana has not learned a skill yet. Wait, this is weird. I normally don't see this, but the Elise has already learned her Q at level 1. Yeah. Normally you see Volatile Spiderling and the attack speed buff.
That's true. In jungle, you typically take the Volatile Spiderling Skittering Frenzy so that you can clear the camps. So he's going for some single target damage there. Yeah.
And look at the level 1. They're like so afraid. They put the Trinket Ward over the wall. Okay, they're not on a red buff.
That was the brush from last time. There's some PTSD here.
Yeah. They're like, well, you do the same invaded us. No, you won't. Bearfish still chilling. Spazzing out a little bit.
Yeah, it worked last time, that invade. Yeah, Bearfish, like you said, didn't learn an ability, which is really good. Because in his position, if a Threshold could come out, you would want the rocket jump.
But here we go. The Q learned. Kevin just going to do the damages here and clear out this first camp pretty easily. Does have Smite. We'll use that, and he's going to be fine. And I want to see this mid lane pattern because it's interesting because it's the two main support mage mids that we see. The Orianna and the Lulu. They've got good damage, but not like Veigar or Ziggs level, but also a lot of supportive abilities for the team. I want to see how this fight pans out and who does more for the team later on.
Well, they also both have auto-attack passives.
True.
So they can trade very well, just walking up to each other and throwing stuff at him.
Well, Haramer going to be taking a bit of pain early on. Thresh versus Leona, and at level 1, the Leona lane is still actually doing a lot of good things. Evertan pushing around Bambi. Forced to chug the potions away. Bambi actually already out of potions. Already pushed around that much. Soulmate going to go for his red buff. Kevin going to go on the other side and get his second buff as well. And the jungler's going to be
level 2
free to roam the map. Ooh, flash forced out. Almost lands the hook. Bearfish was close.
Yeah, and now that the hook is down, he's going to have to close the distance for a flay if he wants to engage.
A bit of damage still onto Haramer. Honestly, it's still going okay for these guys, but the junglers are unlocked. I want to see where they go. Kevin looks for the mid lane. That's going to be his first destination.
And your soulmate just cleaning up his red, and then he'll make a transition to whatever lane he thinks is going to be the easiest to gank. And Kevin, off on the side here.
5 seconds between the time that Pantheon can show up now. Time is ticking in. He's going to be available for the counter gank. Can they land much here? Early flash force by Bambi the Forest, but it's a wise flash.
Yeah, better to flash early than to...
Oh! What a flay! Bearfish doesn't get the dunk. In basketball, that would be goaltending. Actually, it should be a block. Never mind. We're good. Standard blocking. Well done.
That was good. He was still in the air, so he's rising up. He just knock him down.
LCS big plays. Actually, NACC big plays.
Yeah, NACC.
NACC. Ooh, we're
we got to
trick up the acronym. NACC. NACC big plays.
NACC just doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Yes, it does.
NACC. NACC. No, NACC.
No,
that one.
No, it's definitely NACC.
No, it sounds better.
You're wrong.
No.
Here we go. Alliance and Haramer still waiting around to see if they can make Kevin make this gank happen. Every flash is available except for Haramer here. At least still waiting for us. You can Lantern in for Repel for a stun.
And your soulmate making his journey up top. He wants to go after Kenny here.
Okay, well here comes Lantern. Haramer taking a whole bunch of pain. Can he go down in time? The stun on the Bearfish. Gonna get first blood over to Tristana. The reset is there, but doesn't matter. Kill comes back over to Kevin. iKennyU dies in the top lane gank. Wow, well played on this one. And SRS gets away.
So Queen Gypsies, once again, they come out on top in the early game here, going 2 for 1. First blood coming over to them. And up in the top lane here, Pantheon comes around the side. Your soulmate, he's ready. And usually for a Mundo, it's hard to gank early for him. But there's so much damage on Pantheon. Flash goes in, gets him with the spear shot.
Well, it was really good, like super long range cleaver there as well to make that one happen. So, gotta give some props to the very low health pawn Gypsy, kind of walking himself back in there, saying, "I can do a little bit more. Don't worry, I got this."
Yeah, he wasn't afraid. Kenny had flashed away, so he was like, "I still have my flash, and I'll flash cleaver if need be," because he knows that Windwall was down from that. So, ICanEU, man, he's trying to make these plays, trying to make it so that he can get off to a good start here, and it's just doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, he's just sitting sort of stagnant in minions with a death. The assist actually went to Pawn Gypsy, so less of a gold lead. Wasn't like he got 300 gold, he got 150 for that one, but it's Vamp Scepter versus Chain Vestir in this lane, but no consumables for this Yasuo. I want to see if that hurts him any without sustain past the Vamp Scepter.
Yeah, he's got the Vamp Scepter, and then DK Bearfish had the money for a Vamp Scepter, but he goes Avarice Blade instead. So that's showing how passive DK Bearfish is going to play this early game on Tristana, and how he plans to transition and carry his team. So it's going to be a while before he becomes this wrecking ball, but he's poised to do it. He's not looking for that early game.
Yep. Bearfish poised to be Miley Cyrus in this one. Evertan chilling in the mid lane there. I don't want to see this matchup. It's a 9-minion lead so far for the Lulu here. So Blue Caster minions finding something to go their way. They are down 500 gold, but it's a much closer game than last time, certainly.
Yes.
They were down 500 gold at like 1 minute 10 last time. So a closer start to this one. But you've got to worry about the late game scaling of a Tristana who's just farming.
Yeah, and if we look over at Kevin, he just has boots, and he didn't even go for the jungle item. He's trying to get around the map and counter your soulmate's rotations, and he has the ward. He can see this coming.
Well, here we go. Elisa around to the side, goes for the cocoon, does not land it. Good dodge, but the chase now on to Bambi. Great shockwave, though. At the same time as Wild Growth, can they find more? He's trying to get away. Ignite is on, and he's going to burn to death. That poor robot melts, and Kevin's going to force back your soulmate. So 2-2 here, game tied up.
That was a very good gank coming in there. And like I said, Kevin was looking for the rotation there from your soulmate, and now he's not focused on ganking lanes, but he's focused on countering your soulmate, especially after that first game that he had.
And he's on his way to get level 6 very soon. He's about a camp away from that one. So the man drop's going to be here at about 7 minutes and a half. They can start making plays there. Haram are going to get the flay backwards. Bearfish taking a bit of pain, but dodging pretty much all the skill shots. Anyway, a hook goes in, but the damage still going in towards this poor little Thresh. He's trying to run away. 100 health left. Flash in from Bearfish. Doesn't have the damage. Takes a turret shot for it. And Alliance gonna get the kill. And the dive in on a Haramer. He's gonna be going down because of the ignite. Ezra's making that one happen. I feel like he could have ignited sooner. Didn't make that one go down. Soulmate shows up late, but he's got the lane under control.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mana to engage. Use the last bit on Spear Shot. What's happening with Kevin?
He got low fighting some Wraiths, but he's all right.
They're pretty tough.
He learned. Don't worry. The jungle not so deadly in the college scene.
I was like, what is happening to his health bar? It's going down.
Yes.
And so
it's exactly what's happening to his health bar.
But I wanted to know exactly what was happening to him. That was
he was going down.
To Wraiths.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Freak. So in the bottom lane, DK Bearfish, he had this really passive build, and he goes offensive with it. He believes that, Sirius, the extra damage from Sunlight, that passive from Leona, would add that extra damage that he needed, that little oomph, but it wasn't there. He wasn't able to counter the Vamp Scepter from Alliance, and they come out a little short. He ends up dying, and now he has his barrier back up.
Was that a short joke?
No.
I mean, it is a Yordle after all.
There's no Vhagar in this game.
I mean, Tristana is similarly short.
That's true.
Just saying.
That's true.
Even if you can rocket jump, you're still short. I'm just saying, all right, Tristana? Bambi the Forest, though, still killing the minions in the mid lane. They're actually growing the minion deficit here, 12 between her and Evertan's Lulu. So that first pick, Lulu, is paying off so far. It was a contested pick, and they got it.
Yeah, Lulu's a huge lane bully, especially against somebody like Orianna. You talked about how Orianna is this type of support. Like, they're both this type of support mid laner. And Orianna has a little more oomph in the late game in terms of burst. And Lulu has this, if Kenny gets fed, he's going to be even more devastating. I will give him tons of health and a big shield on a very low cooldown and just wreak havoc. So there's a lot on multiple members of BCM's shoulders right now. But DK Bearfish, he still has to wait this game out. The gold is now even a little bit in favor of BCM, just very minute. But DK Bearfish, he has a timeline. He's not going to have this high impact in the early game, and he needs to stop giving up kills and needs to start scaling.
We'll see if we can find this right here. Kevin waiting on the sides. Pawn Gypsy under his turret. No one is around to counter. Grand Skyfall also down right now. Will they go for the dive on this one? Ignite is available. Pawn Gypsy chilling here. Knockup is there for Kenny Yu. Lands it, but they're just not going, so Kevin's waiting for a counter gank, not an actual forced gank.
Yeah, and Kevin using a lot of his time in this top lane, but that's going to allow your soulmate to set up a gank down bottom. Grand Skyfall available. He's going.
All right, they're going to look for this one. Alliance and Harambe. There goes the stun. It's going to land Flay as well, though. The jump in. Look at the damage onto that poor little Thresh. He's going to go down. Well played on that fight, making it happen.
And up in the top lane, that's going to cue Kevin. There's no counter gank.
Ooh, the flash from Pawn Gypsy required. That would have been a knockout from Kenny Yu. Going to be safe in this one, but the pressure on the top lane, and of course, Queen Gypsy going to capitalize off that gank, though, with dragon pressure. Yeah,
if you know where the jungler is, you know where he isn't. If he's top, he's not a dragon. No smite around, and oh, Pawn Gypsy.
Knockup's going to land. They're going to find the kill as well. Kenny Yu forced to run away. He's still got turret aggro. Come on, there you go. He's fine. Kills you off. Now they're going to put pressure on this turret, but dragon does go over to Queen Gypsies.
We've been seeing more and more in the LCS as well. Oh, Alliance, so hold on to that thought.
Another stun's going to land. A lot of damage coming through here, actually. Down to 300 health. Nice solar, some sunlight damage coming through. Bearfish, one more tech to go. Is going to find that one. And just get out of turret range, barely. Early static Shiv for Tristana going to pay off.
Yeah, it's become more and more of a common build. And I was talking about things that were common. In the LCS, diving a top laner 2-1 is really common now. Like we see it all the time. Cloud9 TSM games, they are like, he's got no items early. He's trying to play passive. This guy can't really lock us up. Let's just go after him. Yeah, it's fine. Pawn Gypsy had his ultimate up. They ignite him. They say that's nothing, and they do all of that damage. Repel comes up. Kevin's fine.
Absolutely fine. So, pretty happy stuff by these guys. We'll see a 4-5 kill score, 300, 400 gold lead for Queen Gypsies. Of course, they are up 1-0 in this best of 3 on the trip to the finals, so they can make it happen here. Blue Caster Minions, another pretty big favorite coming into the tournament. Looking at an early elimination. Everton flashing forward, goes for the pain, but uh-oh, Soulmate is here and says, how don't you, oh dear. Bambi gonna fall over, doesn't land the shockwave on that one. Soulmate now getting chased down. Can Kenny make more happen? Knockup is gonna be there, he's gonna find it. A lot of damage coming through, and there's the execution. Kevin taking that one down, 6-5. Blue Casterman is answering.
So Kenny Yu was in range to use his last breath on the original knockup from Everton. Don't know if he was quite ready for it, but it paid off there because he was able to get his own knockup with Steel Tempest and finish off your soulmate. They get a turret for it, and they're going to continue to push this. TP coming in for Pawn Gypsy.
He is 1 versus 3, though, but tanky enough to buy a little bit of time. Now they're going to go in anyway. A lot of damage coming through. Will Mundo survive? Kenny Yu forced to run away? Not any more turret shots in that one. Alliance forced back as well. Bearfish super low, forced to run. You see these guys scrapped all the time, and now the chase on to SRS. Looks like these guys will both disengage.
Yeah, Queen Gypsies has Tristana, Orianna, Mundo. These are late game champions that you need to scale. On BCM, we talked about Yasuo. Doesn't need a whole lot of gold to be relevant. And then we have all of these characters that have such aggression.
Not gonna land. Box picked up by SRS. DK Bearfish forced to run backwards. Pantheon shows. Gets the kill onto Alliance. Harama's going to go down as well. Bearfish turns back around to pick up that kill. A lot going well for Queen Gypsies down here.
Grand Skyfall does so much magic damage in the center of it. At max rank, it's a flat 1,000.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous if you can stun somebody right in the middle. And they're going after Kevin here.
That's what's going to show up. Going to wait on the stun. There's the jump in. It's not going to be the kill on the Bearfish. Close. The Q comes off. Not a good enough flash there. Kill picked up. Ignite is on. Kevin will fall. And actually the kill credit goes to DK Bearfish.
Explosive shot.
Yeah. That was good damage.
It's good enough for Bearfish. That's actually where they would want the kill. Out of all 3 of the people that were in the bottom lane. Your soulmate doesn't need it as much. He's doing really well. Bearfish is the person they want to get snowballing. And the gold is dead even right now.
A 5-3 and 2 Tristana, though. 0-2-0, though, for the mid laner. Bambi not having a great time this game. Last game he was doing great, but the Orianna seeming to not suit him quite as well. Harama and Alliance going to sweep away. This bottom lane, they did keep the turret alive.
Yeah.
Even though this lane is not going well for them in the 2v2.
And like you said, Bearfish 5-3-2. He was 1-2 earlier. So he's accumulated 4 kills in the time that he's died once. So he's getting to that Tristana curve where he's going to be more and more impactful in this game. And he's going to be somebody you need to shut down. Level 9s, level 8s coming out here. That range just gets longer and longer.
Yeah, and his wave clear is crazy good as well. He's, of course, maxing explosive shot as all Tristanas do. I didn't even check. I just assumed because everyone does. Exactly, and static Shiv. So the minions just go away when he hits them, and he's going towards, I'm guessing, Infinity Edge next up. That's typically, like, it's the only champion I still see build Eye Edge early. because it's like, well, I'm going to go for late game anyway. There's no point in even going like Bloodthirster.
Does Ashe still build?
Okay, Ash. But no one's, I guess, playing a lot of Ashe recently.
Okay.
Yeah. Those would be the two. I feel like Ashe should come back, though. I think she's better than people give her credit for.
She should. She's a really great champion.
She is.
Her laning's just difficult.
She's got a new skin now. Going to be popular.
Oh, yeah.
Happened with Ezreal. Didn't happen so much with Udyr, but we all know he's cool. Kenny, you waiting. Soulmate. Oh, they're going to find this one. Hit the ward, Kevin. Oh, Kenny got it by himself. All right, Kenny, with the attack speed, Static Shift done for him as well. And interestingly, he's actually, we saw this from NACC. He's going towards Ruin King second. Kenny, he's not rushing the Infinity Edge for second item.
So you don't need that much attack speed on him because you will cap at 1.3 second cooldown on your Q, which is just the Static Shiv alongside your boots if you give Berserker's Greaves. So he might be going for a different boot here, which could be possible. You might go for Merc Treads.
Sure.
But the Blade of the Ruined King is just great self-peel, great healing altogether. And
we're talking about Yasuo.
What? Yeah, Yasuo.
Kasana's going towards Ayed. She's fine.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Yasuo.
The Q cooldown. I'm dumb.
Yes.
I completely misunderstood you.
His cooldown on Q goes down with attack speed.
Yes. Yes, it does.
It caps at 1.3.
Did you know?
Yes. So you only need Static Shiv and Berserker's Greaves to get to that point. You don't need a Blade of the Ruined King.
Yes.
So he might be going for a different type of boot. Or hooking Bearfish here is good too.
Wow, three-man flay. Damage coming across her armor. Oh, a little bit overextended. All the same does go down to your Soulmate. Alliance getting jumped on now by SRS. The fight continuing. Kenny looking for his damage output. Finds another one. 2 for 1 in this battle so far. Blue Caster Minion still on the chase. SRS a little bit alone. Dodges Cocoon. Nicely played there. Kevin might keep chasing with red buff. He is going to go for this one. In range for the morph. Going to land the Q. Damage coming across there. And he can repel the dodge short aggro when it's time to do so. Just walks away safely. The chase. Alliance going to pick up that kill there. 10-9. Blue Caster Minion is continually firing back.
So Queen Gypsies cut their losses. They say, you know what, you bested us. We're going to go try to do some damage to mid, but Evertan's there, reinforcing it, clearing that wave with the Glitter Lance from Lulu. AP, just so devastating.
Doing some good stuff with this one. So the bottom lane now being pressured there. Kenny has actually swapped himself around the map. 2, 1, and 2. We talked about him wanting to roam and make plays on his top laners. This time he's actually doing it. He's shot up all across the map. 4 kills for his team. He's helped do that one. Kenny does find the knockup. Doesn't go for much else. Puts the wall down. He's trying to run, but he's got nowhere to go. Goes down to the red buff. Your Soulmate getting another one. 4, 2, and 3 on Pantheon. Both junglers having some great games.
Bambi low. He's going to have to back. Dragon is up right now, and BCM and QG both have this in their sights. If they start a fight here, it's going to be a while before Bambi of the Force gets in there, and Orianna is a great presence to have in a team fight for zone control and suction. Just getting everybody together and grouping them up. And Gypsy gets caught.
Gets caught, takes a bunch of damage, trying to run away, and is regenerating health right now. Will he stay alive long enough? Kevin taking a bunch of pain in the background. Bearfish making it happen. Gypsy's still alive. Soulmate there as well. Everytime goes down. 2 kills for Pantheon. And it's going to be Queen Gypsy's completely in control. Soulmate goes for more, but he jumps in top evolution. Trades kills, though, and makes it a triple kill, but there's no smite on this team. Might not even matter.
For both.
Yep.
There's no smite for either of them, so Alliance, he's stolen it before, but he's not going to go for it this time.
No.
Little too risky.
Little too risky. That was a pretty awesome fight, though.
Yeah, that was. Gypsy gets so low. Burst down here. Immediately, he has a sadism come out. And Bearfish jumps over, gets to safety. Now Gypsy is running defense for him. Picks up that kill. Now your Soulmate, he is just tossing spears the entire time. Jumps over. He gets the crit from his Heartseeker passive. And picks up the triple kill before he gets picked up.
517 damage, I think, was a listed number there for the Q. Might have even been the Q auto coming together at once, but still enough damage to kill Thresh for certain. And Alliance, 3, 2, and 3, like he's still holding up okay. I feel like, unfortunately, Harama has been having a pretty rough time this tournament. He didn't have a very good game last time either. 1, 8, and 5 on Thresh, 0, 6, and 5 this time around. So, bit of a rough tournament for him so far, but still 11 to 13 in kills, a close game. And he's looking for Soulmate. Has the knockup available. Finds it. Not a Soulmate. More damage coming through. Kevin shows up to try to take him down. Pantheon on the run. Gonna go down. Kevin with the kill credit. 4, 2, and 4 on Elise.
The entire time he's trying to find his Soulmate.
Yep.
Trying to find your Soulmate.
Finds it.
Don't steal mine.
Finds it. Nah.
Yeah.
Back off.
Gold is pretty much even here across the board. 19 minutes into the game. Kevin finding Gypsy here. Bambi the Force for the reinforcement.
And they make it happen. Gypsy running back through the dissonance. Pain coming through. Shockwave's going to find Kevin. Fever comes through as well. Gypsy just kind of baiting out his health bar as much as he can. Level 11 on him. Lantern pulls the team back in, and this team looks like they're going to defend the turret. 100 gold. separating these teams. They're just fighting back and forth, and no one's finding a huge edge.
And every time I see Bambi of the Forest, his mana pool is very low. So he's going to have to regen that up before they engage again, so he'll actually be viable in these fights. Because right there, he ran out. He was spamming his abilities, clearing waves. It takes a toll on you.
It does, it does. You're running out of mana. You're trying to spam as much as you can. About a third of the bar left on this guy. Bearfish going to help the team kill away this turret. Some good damage here, but it gets swept away.
Kenny's off on the side. He's waiting for this.
Gypsy has no ultimate, taking a bit of pain, but a nice solar flare is going to land across Haramar. Getting low, still trying to run back and forth, back and forth. Soulmate low on health as well. Windwall comes across. SRS a little overset. It will go down to iKennyU. And now will the chase continue? 1-for-1. Bearfish finds one. Now on the other side of the map, he's been exhausted. Knockup's not going to come through in time. It's going to be another kill traded back and forth. Now the chase in, Blue Grass just find Pawn Gypsy. That's going to be a dead Dr. Mundo. Yes, it is. Double kill here for Kevin. 6-2-4.
That was a 4 for 2 there, and Kenny had great positioning, engaged at the right time, didn't get too antsy, and made a play on that top laner. Like we've been talking about it over and over and over again, how much this is the playmaker of BCM. iKennyU, he has the mechanics, and he has the boots that aren't the Berserker Greaves. I'm just going to point that one out.
All right, you got it right.
I
didn't need Berserker Greaves because the Ruin King.
So they engage there. They blow a lot to try and engage. QG does. So Kenny comes in. He sees that they're low, puts the wind wall in not an ideal position, but he blocks some damage from Bambi. So Bearfish picks up a kill here off on the side, and Kenny is just wreaking havoc. He gets the damage he needs onto Bearfish, tries to get the ultimate out, but of course it's Evertan with that massive damage from the AP Lulu, cleaning up the fight, and of course Kevin with the double spider.
Double spider. There's actually more than 2 spiders. I mean, you get 2 spiderlings at level 1, and it just grows from there. He's like 7 spider.
7 spider?
It's like 7 spider. If you count the Volto Spiderling, Elise herself, the 5 Spiderlings you'll get at rank 3 ultimate. I mean, there's just so much there.
It's got rank 2.
Okay.
Well, actually, there's 4 ranks of your ultimate.
Yeah, okay, max rank is what I meant.
Okay.
Anyway, a lot of spiders there.
Did you know there's 4 ranks of Elise's ultimate?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You get level 1 for free when you spawn in the game. Well, iKennyU is a level 13 Yasuo. He's a scary man. Ruin King is done. Is building towards, I'm guessing, Last Whisper next from that long sword. It's certainly not Infinity Edge.
Yeah, Last Whisper is usually something you see. Well, he could...
Like, I mean, you could do,
like,
Cleaver.
He's neglecting the 100% crit build.
How dare you?
He's going to let the RNG take care of that. But you can use the wind wall to actually block Baron's attacks.
Yes, you can.
So they haven't been taking as much damage as you would think. And also some Spiderlings will clean it up.
They're down to half, though. Those poor spiders are dying. Baron just does not care about them.
Every time I play Elise, I like to give each Spiderling a name. And then when they die, I just
run out of names. Do you reuse the names, or are you on name 700 now?
No, I reuse the names. He'll respawn, and I'll just be like...
That's still Bob.
Yep, welcome back, Bob. And then somebody calls him, Bob, no!
Welcome back, Bob.
Hey. So
wow. It's got to be hectic to be like happy and sad constantly for the same person.
They actually usually have exotic names. Anyway.
Okay, well, Blue Caster Minions are picking up Baron on this one, though. So these guys have put themselves back in this game in a very real way. They're down in the series, but they're looking good here in Game 2, waiting in the brush.
QG, they know something like this is going to happen. They're warding around corners. And when Baron is on the enemy team, you have to play a little safer than what they're doing right now. Haramar off on the side. If he can get a hook and the play, he can set up iKennyU.
Ooh, a little bit of a knockup. They don't go for this fight just yet. The wind wall does help them keep sieging, though, as the turret is there. Haramar looks for another hook. Not going to find it. This turret will go down. Queen Gypsies on the retreat now. 2 items done for their Tristana, but that might not be enough for them to turn this game.
Yeah, and even though they tank the turret, they're just going to regen that up with the Baron buff. So now BCM making those rotations happen. And if they have the team communication to pull this off, they could even up the score. It's quite possible. And
well, they want the game free for sure. Nice damage out from Orianna. Does not have her death cap yet, though. She's still on 1.5 big items. Another wind wall comes through, and it's BCM looking for the damage. Good sort of poke on a Bearfish, half HP on Tristana, and here comes the man drop. Shockwave's going to find one. It's going to be Kevin there. The knockout comes back through, though. iKennyU in the front lines, and just goes down rapidly. Evertan trying to make things happen now. 1-for-1 so far. Orianna has fallen. SRS forced to run away. Haramar getting hit over the wall by Bearfish, but the fight is still going on. Pawn Gypsy in the front line. 1 dead so far versus 3 on the other. Queen Gypsies now on the run. Bearfish flashing away. Pawn Gypsy alone right there. Going to fall down. Bearfish can't find anything else. It's going to be another kill picked up. Double kill for Alliance. A 5-for-1 battle.
That's an ace. And they're going to get this inhibitor for themselves. Bearfish was over the wall doing damage, but he's not at that point. He needs like one more item to really just destroy people and get resets. They're going to get an inhib off of this. First inhib of the game, 25 minutes in, and BCM turned it around. They didn't let that first game affect them.
Yeah, they're finding a score somewhat similar to Queen Gypsies in game 1. 21 kills in 25 minutes. Let's watch that fight again.
Yeah, the man drop comes in, but of course the knockup comes here on 2 people. iKennyU sets that up. Bearfish is in the back, dealing damage over the wall, and the fight gets split here. Serious Bearfish are trying to deal with Haramer and Evertan, but then off on the side, Alliance and Kevin are trying to deal with Pawn Gypsy, and they take out Serious. Serious actually got taken out by Evertan. And then it just trails off, and Bearfish never leaves the base. And the fight is not around him.
Yeah.
So his impact in that fight was very low. People got out of range, and he's like, no, you have to bring it back to me. I'm going to stay here because I'll give up my positional advantage. So it was a little overextension there and a little miscommunication.
And the Dragon gets through as well here for Blue Caster Minions. They're actually only Dragon of the match so far, but hey, they'll take the gold if they can get it. 7,000 gold, a pretty sizable lead now for these guys. And I got to hand it to them for how bad Game 1 looked. They have completely turned it around for Game 2. These guys looking so much better. Yeah,
and I think the big thing here is the mentality that came into it. They thought that Your Soulmate was going to be a passive jungler. He was making the plays all across the map, so Kevin decided, I'm going to start countering his plays. Evertan got his trademark Lulu that he played in the quarterfinals, and Kenny's on a playmaker in the top lane. Everything's working out here for BCM.
Very, very well played by these guys. Only 1 turret's even been lost by them. They've kind of controlled everything. But a couple of the early to mid-game kills, the pressure now here towards the bottom lane, and they're kind of splitting focus back and forth, looking for an opening, looking for something to kind of break down in the enemy base.
That top lane has super minions flooding into it, so Pawn Gypsy's going to have to defend that. He has the teleport available, has not used it to great effect this game.
True.
You sit around and you're like, well, what? I had to think about it for a second there. What summoner spell did he bring to the table? Because I hadn't seen it from him.
Yeah, true. Flash. He's brought Flash.
He's brought Flash. Table. I saw that one a couple times underneath turrets.
Yes. Still died.
But his teleport has not been used to contest dragons and objectives. But the thing is, iKennyU hasn't really been in lane.
True.
He got to that point. He's like, I'm going to come all the way bottom. And look what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm killing your teammates. And just rotating and rotating and still keeping up in CS and actually passing him.
And Blue Cashman is now looking for their second inhibitor turret now. Looking for the mid lane. Goodwin welcomes across. Kenny is going to stay alive, but there comes a shockwave. Beautiful 2-man stun. The fight might begin, but no one's there to fight with them. Tristana's on the outside, but they're going to find a kill anyway. The support's getting traded back and forth. Evertan on a killing spree. 4v4. For all that amazing setup, there just wasn't enough follow-through.
Yeah, there was no follow-through. Kenny decides not to go all the way in with his last breath. He had a knock-up onto Your Soulmate, but that would put him in a very bad position. Considering Your Soulmate also had the ball on him, so he would have been slowed if he had tried to come out of that. So, next item here that's coming out for DK Bearfish, though, is a Bloodthirster.
Yes.
So he's not going for Last Whisper.
He doesn't need it. There's no armor tanks.
Yeah, it's just one tank in the game.
Yeah. One random Zoman. It's not even like you're fighting an Orianna who gives bonus armor. Yeah, I mean, Thresh gets some over time, but like, realistically, Bloodthirster is a great choice. You get so much damage out of that item.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have to charge that up, though.
The team's giving him the farm, is the thing.
That's the... Well, they should. Of course. And they also should stay around him, because they start overextending. Like we saw right there, Sirius went out of the base, out of range of Bearfish. So he's not able to reinforce them. And BCM, they are intelligent enough to spot this and say, you know what, let's just keep Bearfish out of arm's reach. Let's just keep him in the back line. He's scared of going forward. And he's scared of Evertan. He's really scared of Evertan. We saw in the bottom lane where they were duking it out, and he was like, well, you know what? I'm sorry. You know, you put picks on me, and I'm the backup. Like, I'm going to have nothing to do with this. He is just waiting to farm himself up and become a super late game beast.
And he's going to be. We're going to see what happens to these guys. Bearfish looking for his third item eventually. When he gets Last Whisper, it's going to be pretty crazy. He's already got good damage here. Dodging the hooks. SRS takes that one, but you don't really engage on a Leona that often. Not inside her own base.
And I think by the time that he gets a Last Whisper, iKennyU will have his Infinity Edge completed, which will give him that 100% crit Yasuo, and he will be devastating. He's actually holding on to... Oh, I was going to say, he's charge that up on jungle creeps, throw it from blind, see if you can knock somebody up and get a nice last breath. But rotations here from BCM have been on point all game.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of this one. So top lane, the inhibitors respawn. There's no turret defending it. Mid lane, a little injured, but they couldn't crack the base last time. And Baron's up in 10 seconds as well. So they've set up some pretty good ward coverage for Baron, but they haven't swept everything away. They're still only on one sweeper. That's the thing. 30 minutes in, still only one sweeper. So these guys are spotted as they set up for Baron.
And Haramer, yeah, they are all spotted. Ward comes over the wall. They don't clear it.
Well, beautiful 5-man ulti's coming across, but the wind wall keeping him alive for a bit. Bearfish finds one. Can they keep going? Kevin is low. They're re-engaged by Kenny. Good damage coming across, but he's going to go down anyway. 2 for 1 so far. Can they find more engages? Soulmate flashes. Doesn't find anyone. Will Queen Gypsies go in? Yes, they go look for Baron on this one. Sirius is alive. Pawn Gypsy the only one to die. Can they get Baron, or will they get dropped away by Alliance? Baron taking some damage.
It's just him and Evertan, and they are going to back off of this. So they stalled enough time for Kevin to get back into the base. He didn't die, has his HP, so if they had stayed there and attempted to do Baron, they would have taken the poke from Evertan and Alliance, and then Kevin would have been there in time for the smite. It would have been a tiny window, but he would have been there. Extra movement speed from Spider Form. We're going to chalk it up to that one.
That's the reason.
That's the reason.
Home guards helped a little bit as well. Yeah. Mid turret now goes down. Queen Gypsies use the champions that they killed to get a little bit of map pressure. Mid lane turret goes down 2 to 7 in turret. They've got a lot of ground to make up. But with Baron alive and Dragon in 40 seconds, I want to see, do Queen Gypsies, players coming from UC Irvine, do they feel like they've got enough map pressure to contest objectives now?
Well, Bearfish, we just saw in that fight, if you can keep him in the back but still in the fight because of the range, then he's good to go. We saw him taking out Kenny from the back line. Kenny goes straight into him. He got Kevin low, and he took out Haramer. You just have to keep DK Bearfish in this fight, but BCM needs to do the opposite. You need to get him out as fast as possible. The engagement from Sirius was on point.
Oh, it was great.
It was so good. And Bambi of the Forest, known for his Orianna play, really, really good shockwave follow-up.
Did an amazing job of that one.
It was pretty much handed to him. I can't really be like, it was a fantastic shockwave.
They're all slowed by 80%. Please press R here. And he did it. And he made a little target for him. And I actually wanted to follow up on your Bearfish point, because not only does Tristana get more items, have much of attack speed, as she levels up, the more attack range means she's in more fights from farther away. Pawn Gypsy now getting attacked, half HP, popped that ult already, is trying to regen, is staying alive. 2-man Shockwave, 2-man Solar Flare as well. Windwall stops the engagement, the other is going to flash over. Anyway, Bearfish on the side, Windwall drops, can they find more damage? Evertan does go down. 1 for 0, Bearfish on the back lines, can he stay alive? Nuh-uh, Kenny takes him down. Flashed away from some of the damage across. Bambi the Forest still around here, can they get the damage they need? Alliance shows up, beautiful knockup comes in, do they have the damage required? Kenny, you chasing, not going to make that one happen though, chancing. Backing, can they get away? No! Sirius now trying to run away. Alliance finds another, advancing now for a triple kill. And look at that crazy battle, only Pawn Gypsy alive.
So that looked like it was going to go the way of the Queen Gypsies, but the wind wall was so good from Kenny. It stopped the resets from DK Bearfish and the damage. He was not able, it was like a pixel in front. Yeah. We're going to have a look at that again right here. They're going after Pawn Gypsy. And then Bambi of the Forest, he throws his ball over the wall, sucks them in, immediately Solar Flare comes down, but look at that, no damage.
Yep.
DK Bearfish does nothing to Evertan, could have picked him up, could have picked up Haramer after that, and then this fight was in 2 places at once. You think that Queen Gypsies has the advantage, but Kenny Yu gets enough flow, gets his shield back up, absorbs all of that damage, and now he's wreaking havoc. Alliance comes in from the side, and then they just clean this up perfectly. Kenny does drop in the process, but
worth it.
It was worth. But triple kill onto Alliance. Oh, the gold is just back and forth, but the 8K still in BCM's favor.
Yeah, it's just crazy. These guys are just trading blows, and it's hard to sort of keep up with it all. 27 kills to 22, 33 minutes in. You've still, as you said, got the 8,000 gold lead for blue caster minions, but they're just not. They're not getting a ton done for it. They did get Dragon off the previous fight, so they are growing their lead here. But I want to see if they can keep this one going, because they're now fighting a 4-item Tristana. DK Bearfish has the Last Whisper done. You've got only 3 offensive items for Alliance. He's added a Guardian Angel to keep himself alive more, but you've got very different damage threats in these teams.
Yeah, and you see that Queen Gypsies realizes all of the threats and where they can come from, that they stock themselves full of wards here.
Yeah.
4 of their members have nice little eyes in their inventory here. And actually a complete Oracle Lens coming out for Sirius.
Yeah. So he's got Talisman of Ascension, Ruby Sightstone, even a pink ward in the inventory. He is making sure that he can do everything he can for his team provision. But as Vision is a team game, everyone else bought wards as well. Guys, team game, you should buy wards as well. Yeah. Help out everyone else, not just a support's job.
And
just saying.
I assume everybody's clapping because you're
The
saying
support's all applauded the PSA. Thank
So-
you. Jeez, it's not only my job.
Yeah,
I don't buy
it
wards.
isn't only your job. What?
I don't buy wards. If I have 75 gold in an item slot, I'll buy
like
a ward.
Wow. Really?
Otherwise, I'll
You'll
buy
buy
more
two
health
potions,
potions.
won't you? Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Only if I have health potions. Already.
But
Already got 5. Can't buy anymore. Must buy a ward.
now you switched to mana at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm playing Kennen.
So, well, you're always out of mana on Kennen. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. So, the wards, that means that Queen Gypsy is looking for some objective control here. They want to not give up that Baron for free. They don't want to go into that blind. They're going to throw all of these wards down there. And you said, you know, sweepers are lacking on BCM side. They only have one. And if they picked up a couple more, then they could start closing out this game in a more effective manner, because you've seen them camping in bushes looking for picks.
Yeah.
And that would really help their strategy and what they're trying to accomplish here.
Well, let's see if they can find Evertan and get the picks. You guys moving forward. BCM looking to invade into the jungle again. These are the guys with the lead. You guys trading blows. Stun's going to land upon Gypsy. He's not going to care. 3 tank items there on Mundo, not counting his boots. Going to look forward. Dissonance goes across. These guys are just like battle lines are drawn, and they're looking for that first opening. You see Kevin overextend for a stun, not getting anything for it, and back right out, and they're just trying to find an opening.
And you would not think that there's a 9k gold difference between these two teams.
No.
And if you're sitting there and you are these teams, all you're seeing is 27 to 22. And you're like, they're probably pretty close to us. And then you take into account dragons and turrets. But the strength that this team composition has in the late game for Queen Gypsies is devastating. Like, that win wall, I want to jump back to it again, was so good that that could have been that was the deciding factor of that fight. That would have been Bearfish picking up 2 more kills for himself.
We'll see what else these guys can find now. And if Bearfish can carry the team on his back, all the kills going to Pantheon, makes him tankier, but he's no longer as big of a damage threat as before. Just Lizard Elder and Brutalizer that people are outscaling at this point. BCM on the back foot. They do see QG coming in. Wards come across. Kevin still in the fog. Goes, lands a stun on a Soulmate. Can the fight begin? A lot of damage coming in. Pulling onto Soulmate, getting them low. The battle has begun. Haramer getting knocked around. 3-man shockwave. Knock up the coming in from IKNU. Can he find more? No, he explodes right there. 1 for 0 so far. Queen Gypsy now got to trade one back as well. Bearfish still on the run. Finds Kevin, takes him out. He is still good on this one, but he's now a little bit alone. Only he and Pawn Gypsy are alive. Look at the damage coming across. And down she goes. Blue Cashmere is finding themselves a fight. Only have lost 2, and they've killed 4. Pawn Gypsy on the run, but these guys could just kill the base, but Evertan wants blood.
Evertan is so strong. His Lichbane, Deathcap, Void Staff, he is tearing people apart in the flash over the wall.
Haramer puts the lantern across, gets him in there. Pawn Gypsy going to go down. Nicely played there. Haramer making it happen. Alliance now in the top lane, 20 seconds until any revives. He's going to get the inhibitor at least, and he's got time to push for the Nexus turrets as well. This could be the game.
And we see the Lichbane on Evertan. I just talked about it. He can destroy structures so quickly with that. And look at that. He's just chunking it down with the help of Alliance. Yeah, this might be a game. We might be going to a game 3 here.
See if they can do it. Turret number 1 is down. Turret 2 gone as well. Soulmate and SRS, the only guys here. Can they jump into this one? They're trying to find it. Haramer knocking him back. Here comes Bambi as well. A lot of damage coming across Alliance. Taking his health bar down, but they get the kill onto Haramer. You've got the Lulu running around. Alliance trying as well.
The rotation.
Getting lower. He gets it. BCM pulling it back 1-1 in the semifinal.
Wow, evening it up. That was a great play there. They showed that the first game didn't shake them.
Nope.
It was such a decisive victory by Queen Gypsies, but they bring it back here, and they don't let Bearfish carry.
Yeah.
He had so much gold on that team, but they denied it. Yasuo, great pick. We might see it banned next game because of that, because of how effective it was.
Yeah.
And, man, they just did such a great job at reading their opponents and not letting the nerds get to them. That's huge.
Absolutely. The Yasuo, the Lulu, the two together, in fact, making an even better combo. And it's like, well, you let someone get a playmaker who wanted to be a playmaker the whole time, and you kind of unlocked him by playing a passive top lane. Might want to change that one around. The mid lane, I'm really surprised, just went the other way. Like, how well did the mid lane go for Queen Gypsies in Game 1? And then how well did the mid lane go now for Blue Castlemans here in Game 2? Like, you're seeing that they're equally skilled, but it's like the champions they get and the situations they get into changes everything.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And we saw that the effect from your Soulmate was not as high this game.
Yeah.
He had a Pantheon, which is still a gank-heavy jungler. But the Vi that he had previously, he was just going lane to lane, making things happen. But I do chalk that up to Kevin actually reading him this time.
Yeah.
He was able to say, I know where you're going to go. We have some wards down, and I will counter that. And he did that fantastically early game, transitioning that into Evertan's gold lead. And, man, these teams are so even that they really show that they deserve to be here.
Yeah, and it's funny, you actually mentioned the counter ganks coming in from the jungler. The reverse happened again last time. You actually had the ganks all read by Soulmate. Every Pantheon drop that came in from Kevin was countered over and over and over again. These guys are trading blows back and forth. Now, guys, got to go AFK for a couple of minutes, but when we return, it's time for the third and final game between the Queen Gypsies and the Blue Caster Minions. Don't go anywhere. The 2014